Yes, my people, welcome back to another video and welcome back to the Glory Hunter Challenge, where today we face off against Lille in the Champions League final. If you did miss last episode, then I highly recommend you quickly go and check it out before I spoil it and ruin it for you. I'll give you 3, 2, 1. If you haven't gone, that is your problem, as I am now going to announce that we did indeed win the FA Cup, beating Tottenham 2-0 in the FA Cup final to get ourselves our first trophy of the Glory Hunter Challenge. Now today we look to make it 2, which would be a fantastic result. I do just want to check quickly. No, they play at the same time. Okay. I wanted to check that. As I quickly just keep tabs on the Premier, on the job list. The United job is still available. I don't think I'm going to go for it. Not looking to go for any of those. The Monaco job has come up, which is definitely an interesting one. Should they get Europa League football this year and we do not win this Europa League final here today, could definitely be intrigued into getting the job elsewhere. Same with the Milan job, should we not win the Europa League here today. But you never know. And it's important that we go with an open mind. As if we just check out Lille, they are sitting... Oh, never mind. I hate it when they do this. They came second in Ligue 1 this year, obviously defeated by PSG. And they have got a decent team. I don't think they're as good as us, and I don't think they're as good as Roma either, to be honest. They've obviously got Buadi, who is very good on this game. And then their striker, obviously, Olivier Giroud. 20 goals in the Europa League this year. But I think we should be favourites for it. So let's see how we will be lining up for this Europa League final. We are going with Martinez in goal. Matty Cash, Concert, Pau Torres and Digne round off the defence, with a midfield 3 of Kamara, Tielemans and unfortunately Emmy. Oh wait, can I... In fact, I'm actually going to be a bit interesting here, as Harvey Elliott is not fit for this game. So we're going to go with Kamara, Tielemans and Morgan Rogers in midfield. We're then going to go with Torres on the right, Jadon Sancho on the left, and Ollie Watkins leading the line for us here today. So, the lineup has been chosen. Let's get into this Europa League final and try and defeat Lille and see how they will be lining up for it. Okay, here we are for the Europa League final. Some changes for Lille, as interestingly, Buadi misses out here in the Europa League final, as they have gone with Oki in goal, a back 4 of Thiago Santos, Mandy Ribeiro and Renan Lodi. Thiago Santos, a really good player on this game this year. They've gone with a midfield 2 of Benjamin Andre and ex-Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Nabil Bentaleb. They've gone with Felix Carrera on the right, Saru on the left, with Howardson in the 10 and Olivier Giroud, the top goal scorer and I believe the record goal scorer in Europa League history, through the middle. It's going to be a very interesting game. Let's get into it and see if we can get ourselves the win. It's just confirmation of the lineup there, as it looks like Buadi might be injured. It's confirmation of our lineup too. I'm going to have to skip this for copyright. But Giroud gets us underway for this Europa League final. We're going to put dynamic mode on, as I feel like last episode was a little bit short. So here we go. Obviously going with Morgan Rogers in midfield, which is maybe a bit questionable and interesting. As Bentaleb trying to find Saru, who does find Saru and forces a decent save out of Martinez there. Tested early on is Martinez, as Conser finding Morgan Rogers. That is the end of that highlight. As Oki now with the ball in his hands for Lille. 10 minutes into this Europa League final. And he goes long, looking for Cash. Cash wins the header. He had time to bring it down there, but Kamara wins it back. Torres finds Kamara, who finds Ollie Watkins. Watkins has a lot to do from here. Goes back to Torres. It's headed away. And Giroud now with the ball. Renan Lodi, ex-Nottingham Forest and Atletico Madrid, of course. As Matty Cash does really well there. Torres finds Morgan Rogers, who's dispossessed but wins the ball back. Torres now, trying to find that run through to Ollie Watkins. But it's cleared out for a throw-in by Ribeiro. There's Cash now with the throw. Goes short to Rogers, back to Cash, back to Morgan Rogers. Into Kamara, finding Torres. Goes back to Konsa. Finding Tielemans to Rogers. Torres now trying to find Rogers but can't. Tielemans finds Torres, who hits it and forces a good save out of Oki there. Behind for an Aston Villa corner. Jadon Sancho now to take for Aston Villa. It's a decent delivery. Headed away by Giroud, but Mandy stops it from going out and clears, but only as far as Digne. Heads down to Torres nicely. Not a lot of proper action here so far in this opening 20 minutes as Lille have a free kick in dangerous territory. Looking for Ribeiro at the back post. It's just past the post from Ribeiro. As Cash receives the ball. Looking for Torres down the wing, but can't find him as Renan Lodi puts it out for an Aston Villa throw. Matty Cash now finding Rogers. Kamara finds Tielemans, who finds Jadon Sancho. Sancho finds Tielemans again, and Digne now. Digne finding Sancho. Sancho cutting in, finding Tielemans. It's away by Carrera, but only as far as Kamara. Giroud now finds Saru, who runs at Matty Cash. The thing with having dynamic mode on is every single highlight, I just feel like it's not an actual highlight, and I'm not actually like watching something thinking like, oh, are we going to score? As Giroud flicks on nicely to Haraldson there, and Digne does well to dispossess and win that ball back as Sancho. Doing really well down this left-hand side is Sancho. And Digne now advancing, finding Ollie Watkins at the front post, but just can't make it there. Wins the header though and finds Rogers. Like, I feel like every highlight is just the same. Rogers dispossessing nicely there. Digne playing a good ball through down the line to Sancho. Sancho cutting in, going back to Digne. What can Digne do? Finds Morgan Rogers and it's blocked by the Lille defender. Cleared only as far as Kamara. Tielemans now goes back to Kamara, trying to find that ball over the top. I think I'm going to leave dynamic mode on for the rest of this first half, and then I will turn it off because I just feel like we're just watching nothing. As Santos going forward to Carrera. Konsa wins his header and finds Torres, who then finds Morgan Rogers. Plays a good ball over the top to Watkins, who makes it 1-0. The flag has gone up and the defenders are appealing for offside. VAR will check this, and it has been disallowed. Ollie Watkins just made his run that little bit too early. As we can see there, just makes his run too early. It's a good first touch and a really good finish from Watkins though. Hopefully he can get confidence from that. Ribeiro now with the resulting free kick for Lille. Goes to Santos, who goes to Correa. Goes back to Mandy. Kamara dispossesses but gives the ball away cheaply. And Haraldson is now in for Lille. But Morgan Rogers is there. But it falls to Santos. And Correa hits the post. As Cash picks the ball up Trying to find Torres and does. Dispossessed though by Sari. I just don't know how the fuck to say his name. Kamara finds Tielemans. Watkins now can find Torres, who's surrounded by Lille shirts. Does really well though, does Facundo Torres. And wins himself an Aston Villa corner. It's good play by Torres down that right hand side there. As Digne with the corner for Villa, sorry. Headed away. Dispossessed, but is then cleared. And Kamara is there and heads back to Martinez. Consa now finds Yuri Tielemans. Pau Torres goes out to Digne. Digne trying to find Sancho. Does find Sancho. Jadon Sancho cutting in. And it's another corner for Aston Villa. And it's Digne to take again. Can he have a better delivery this time? It's headed away at the front post from Mandy. And it will be out for an Aston Villa throw-in. It's Tielemans now. Finds Jadon Sancho. Tielemans looking for Digne. Goes back to Torres. Who then finds Ezri Konsa. Konsa finds Matty Cash, and Matty Cash is driving into the penalty area here. And it is another Aston Villa corner. It's our 4th or 5th of the game, I believe. As Digne to take yet again. It's headed away by Mandy, but only as far as Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho looking for Matty Cash, who hits it. And it is another Aston Villa corner. Jadon Sancho to take this one. Headed away by Bentaleb, but only as far as Digne. And then falls to Sancho. And it falls to Oki from that deflection there. It's Thiago Santos now. As Torres finds Morgan Rogers. Dispossessed in midfield by Haraldson though. Rogers lacking fitness here. As Correa is in. And he hits the post yet again. But the flag does go up. As Cash cutting inside finds Morgan Rogers. Rogers goes back to Konsa. And finds Pau Torres. Into Digne. Digne trying to find Rogers, but it's dispossessed by Bentaleb. And Giroud is now in. Giroud pulling it back, but Tielemans is there to intercept. And Watkins now finds Torres down this right hand side for Villa. Torres trying to switch to Kamara. Does find and falls to Torres in the penalty area. And it is 1-0. Aston Villa. Facundo Torres gets his first goal of the Europa League campaign. The January transfer signing makes it 1-0 here in the Europa League final. As Watkins plays a really good ball into Torres' path. It's a brilliant first touch. And he just taps it past Oki and slots it into the corner to make it 1-0. Just before half time there. It's a great time to get the opener in a cup final. As Bentaleb finds Santos, who finds Correa, who's hit the post twice in this game. Andre does find Bentaleb. Saru now. Defended really well by Ezri Konsa there. And it is out for a Lille corner. As we have a minute to go here in injury time. As Haraldson to take for Lille. Doesn't beat the first man, and Tielemans clears, and Torres can break now. It's a 1v3 for Torres. And he does well, does Thiago Santos. It's brilliant defending from the Portuguese fullback. As Cash, the other right back, does defend well there as well. As Rogers dispossessed cheaply again. Rogers not having a fantastic game here. As Bentaleb goes back to Lodi. Puts the ball in the box looking for Giroud, but Pau Torres does really well to head away there. As Watkins, in the final 20 seconds here of the first half, is dispossessed by Andre. Lodi looking for Bentaleb in the middle. And that is the end of the first half as we go into the break. Aston Villa 1, Lille 0 here in this Europa League final. It's been a decent start as Watkins gets us underway for this second half. As Rodgers looking like he could have given everything here today so far. As Torres now goes to Konsa. Rather Konsa gave it to Cash, thank you. Don't like it when Konsa goes forward, to be honest. As Rodgers finds Tielemans, who then finds Watkins. Sancho now looks for Watkins. Oh, and it's just wide from Ollie Watkins. Could have doubled Aston Villa's lead there. As I am going to bring Morgan Rodgers off, as he is just completely dead. And we're going to bring Harvey Elliott on. We're going to bring Emi Buendia on. And we're going to bring Onana on as well, for some fresh legs in midfield. As we approach the hour mark here. Not much happening here in this second half as Tielemans trying to find Torres out wide, but Lodi picks the ball up and intercepts. Back to Ribeiro, who then finds Mandy. Thiago Santos now looking for a really good ball through to Correa. Correa in the box now finds Haraldson, and Haraldson equalises for Lille with a really good, well-timed run to the edge of the penalty area. Correa does really well to just delay and wait for that run, and he picks him out perfectly. And it's a fantastic finish past Martinez to equalise for Lille. As the young, well, semi-young midfielder gets his 7th. He played really well in the Europa League this year, hasn't he, to be fair. I'm going to bring Ollie Watkins off for Evan Gesand. Is there anyone else we can bring on? We'll bring Tyrone Mings on as well. And we'll bring Ian Matson on as well. So we're going to go attacking. And we're going to demand more for this final 10 minutes of normal time. As Konsa goes back to Tyrone Mings. Tielemans now back to Mings. Finds Ian Matson. Matson does really well there to burst down the line. Can he get a ball in the box? He can. It's cleared away, but only as far as Jadon Sancho. Onana now. As Konsa needed to get that and did. Buendia now. Can't do anything there. As Mandy finds Correa out on this right hand side. Santos finds Andre. Haraldson now finds Correa. The two linking up yet again. Who finds Giroud. And Giroud trying to find him at the back post. And it falls to Haraldson in the penalty area. And he makes it 2-1 to Lille. For fuck's sake. As Giroud does really well to just chip it to the back post. And Mukai heads it back into the mixer. And Matson misses his header. And Haraldson, the smallest person in the box, heads home to make it 2-1 to Lille in the final 10 minutes. And we need a goal here as we approach the final 5 minutes. As Lille win the Europa League. I don't want to watch, fuck off. Haraldson with the brace. Oh, it's so annoying. Because I don't know if I'm going to have another really good opportunity to win the Europa League. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's really frustrating. it wasn't meant to be here today. We now play Burnley in the final game of this season. That'll be out tomorrow. And we'll do a little end of season review. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for more Glory Hunter action. Peace.